How's it going, everyone? RedExo here, and there's a few things I have on my mind that I want to talk about. Now, I haven't. What's been on my mind for the past couple of weeks, I should say, or months, is essentially mental health issues amongst the youth as well as amongst young adults. Now, we there are talks, there are certain programs out there that really try to reach out to our youth, try to speak about that, and really try to hammer home that there is a mental health issue within our youth community and the young adults. I don't know, I've been trying to make this video for the past month, maybe, just trying to collect my thoughts, sitting down, actually having my thoughts processed. But I just decided to just talk. Let's just talk. So that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about mental health and how nowadays people try to help each other by solving an issue they have. But the thing is, with mental health, it's not an issue that they have with others. It's an issue that they have with themselves. And there's this very common misconception that when a person is talking to someone, let's say they seek help or they seek refuge in someone, that other person might feel the need to solve their issue. But the person speaking or the person that's asking for help is not necessarily asking for a solution, but more so to vent, more so to let whatever they're feeling or whatever they're thinking out to someone, just to have someone to talk to, someone to engage with. We take that for granted. And I think in this day and age with the social media, with things like gaming and other outlets, we take just speaking to someone, to a person genuinely, we take that for granted. And I just wanted to, I don't know, I just felt like I had to say that. I have to say that because excuse me, it's strange to me that when I want to speak to somebody and just speak to them, I'm not expecting a solution to the problem that I have. Let's say for instance, let's a quick little exercise here. For instance, I want to get a passport, right? I want to get a passport, right? That's something that's materialistic, but let's just stick to that topic. Now, when I go speak to somebody about it, their immediate instinct is to assist me in acquiring our passport. But that's not something that I wanted. I just wanted to talk to someone about getting a passport. Maybe I wanted to speak on the pros and cons. Maybe I wanted to understand, is it as necessary as it is right now for me to get a passport? Things like that. I wanted to just gush out ideas to them and not necessarily looking for an answer. And I think that's something that I include myself in this, but I think that's something as we as a community, or we as a society, we don't listen to our friends, we don't listen to our family or people in need. We just have this human instinct in us to help someone. And it's strange, right? It's so strange that I'm saying that humans want to help each other, but that's true. It's in our innate nature to help someone. Obviously, I won't deny that there are some the exception to the rule, as they call it, okay? But what I'm saying is, humans, when we see another human who's hurt or who is in need of help, there is almost that instinct to help that person, to solve the problem that they have. But it's not necessarily a problem when it comes to mental health. And I'm not saying that to dismiss mental health. No. What I'm saying is that mental health is a issue that has been festering within the youth and the young adults. And without someone to listen to them, someone to actually have them speak and not receive any solution, it doesn't help them. You know, it doesn't help the person grow or understand their problem if you're just trying to help or trying to solve their problem. And I've been watching some YouTube videos. I've been doing a little research here and there. I'm not going deep into this. I'm conveying my thoughts. And what I've noticed is that is what I've said earlier. I want to talk to someone, I want to talk to them, but I don't want them to give me an answer or give me a solution. I want them to hear me out. And I think that young adults and the youth, they feel like that. They feel like they're not being heard, you know? They feel like as if no one wants to listen to them. And this really hit home for me. That train of thought really hit home for me, because for a while now, I've been thinking that too. You know, I've been thinking that nobody wants to hear me. There's no reason why I should speak up. There's no one to talk to. But that's just it. I was wrong. There are people who care. There are people who would want to listen to me. There are people around me that genuinely care about me. But when I try to speak to them, it's more like they want to solve the problem for me. They want me to get instantly better. That's what it is. And that's not the case. It's a process. Everything's a process. You know, when you're younger, you make mistakes. You process your mistake. You understand your mistake. You accept your mistake, and then you move forward from your mistake. All right. Hopefully you learn from them. And when you learn from them, hopefully you don't do it again. Again, exceptions to the rule always apply. Some people are just prone to make mistakes in their entire lives. But that's just that. I'm just putting that out there, just 2 cents out there. But that's what I wanted to come back to, is that our youth, our young adults, they are going through mental health issues. And it's interesting to me because it's not new. See, this issue is not new. However, one thing social media does and one thing online gaming does is it brings those issues to the surface. You see, those issues amongst our parents weren't explicitly said. Sure, they had mental health issues, and sure, they went through tough times, and you know, our grandparents went through a war and traumatizing things, but they didn't have as much access to other people, or they didn't have much access to as much help as we do nowadays. And that's something that's very important, that we find that help that we need. So I just wanted to make this video. I wanted to let my 2 cents out there, and I should have said this from the beginning, but I will put up the phone number for the mental health hotline for New York City, because that's where I'm currently living on. But hopefully there's probably like a global number or a national number that everyone can call, as well as suicide prevention. And that's something that I've also it's an issue that's to me very problematic. Suicide is not an easy thing to deal with. Suicidal thoughts are not easy to deal with. We us, normal people, because normal in today's society is someone who, works, maybe in a relationship, has accumulated wealth, all that stuff. And abnormal is anything on the contrary. All right. But when it comes to suicide, and when it comes to suicide prevention, I feel like those are very important things to deal with. Whether it be preventing someone from committing suicide, or whether it be dealing or coping with someone that that committed suicide. And that's just something that I was thinking these past couple of days, and it just came to my mind that it's for someone who does not have those tendencies, those suicidal tendencies or thoughts. It's very difficult for that person to understand the other one, because when somebody says, I understand what you're going through, it's impossible. It's literally impossible to understand what someone is going through, or what issues they have, or etc, etc, etc. And when a youth or a young adult, or even an adult, or even someone who's more mature, has thoughts like that, that's something, or that's someone you should really pay attention to and try to understand them. Don't shake off what they're doing just because, you shouldn't think like that. Like that doesn't help. That does not help anyone. It just makes that person feel like you're brushing them off. It's as if that person, to them, it feels like that person just might not exist, because they're trying to seek help, and when they do, they're usually turned down, or maybe the person they want to speak to is really busy, or whatever the situation may be. And it contrary to popular belief, okay, I'm not gonna put up no statistics and all that, but even when a person who has suicidal thoughts, or has even an incline of those tendencies, they will seek help. That's the thing, they will seek help, but it doesn't look like normal help. The way they might seek help is they might seek refuge in playing a video game, or they might seek refuge in being amongst their friends, or being with their best friend, or maybe in solitary, reading a book, being alone. And it's difficult for us to understand that, because our solaces are different. Our solaces are very different. Maybe we seek solace in taking a drive. Maybe some seek solace in just going outside, taking a walk and all that. But we need to understand why our youth, why our young adults are committing suicide. And we need to understand their point of view, most importantly, because we need to be properly educated when somebody's going through a severe mental health issue, when somebody's going through a severe suicidal issue, and how to help them cope, or how to help them understand or get through that train of thought. And it goes back to my original point, not solve the problem for them, because we can't solve that problem for them. We can only guide them through their thoughts. Let them speak. Let them express themselves. Let them find their own answer to their problem. And I just think that we should be less critical on those who have those issues, on those who have those problems that they're going through. And I'd rather I'd further I would go saying that I wouldn't call them problems, because problems usually refer to something that needs to be solved. I would more say it's an issue. So an issue needs to be worked through. An issue needs to be understood, needs to be assessed, and if possible, an issue needs to be ultimately, continuously worked on. That's what I'm trying to say. An issue needs to be continually worked on. It's never solved. The issue is never solved. A problem is always solved. A problem is, my chair's broken, I need to fix it. I fixed the chair, problem solved, done. An issue would be, I'm currently making payments towards a phone. The phone is not updated, or the most recent one, but I want to get the most recent one. So what I'm doing is I'm purchasing or making payments towards that phone in order to get a better phone. That's an issue, because that's going to keep going. If I want the most recent phone, that's going to keep going. My bill's going to keep going up, and then I'm going to have to keep paying it. Sure, the ultimate solution for the phone would be me paying it all in full, but my phone bill, that's something that's always reoccurring. Hopefully that analogy was a little hopefully you can understand that analogy. And it's just some things that I use to make connections with, to get a better understanding. That's how my thought process works. And I'm gonna upload this raw. I don't know if this is gonna get a lot of views or shares, but honestly, this is just something for me. I feel like I had to say this. I feel like I wanted to share this with YouTube or whoever wants to watch it. But thank you so much for listening. If you were here at the end, thank you so much for your support, for subscribing to the channel. And maybe I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep having these, let's say, off-topic talks. Something in that nature. But thank you once again for watching, and well, I'll see you when I see you.